So what are my options if my resident does not pay rent? Hi, I'm Steve Rosenberg with Mynd Property Management, and today I'm joined with Giles Imrie, legal counsel for Mynd, where we discuss what options you have. So Giles, if I have a resident that does not pay their rent, what are my options?
Yeah, so depending on where your property is located and what sort of eviction moratorium you are subject to, some states are opening up where you can actually file evictions now, and others have got a long ways to go. For example, California, before you can file a notice to vacate or what I'd call a statutory notice, which is typically your pay or quit notice, and then actually file the eviction. So assuming you can't do any of those and you've got a resident that's not paying rent, well, there's a couple variations there. Some jurisdictions will allow you to actually serve a statutory notice and actually file the eviction, even though you can't do anything with it for 30, 60, 90 days, whatever it may be. That would allow you to get in line. The disadvantage to doing that is once you serve your statutory notice, you can no longer accept partial rent payments unless you want to start the process all over again. So you've got to do sort of a little analysis on what you're trying to accomplish and whether it's worth doing any of that or just getting as much money as you can right now, because regardless of where you're located, there's nothing right now that I've seen anyway that forgives rent. So if a resident's not paying rent or they're paying partial rent, if they can only pay half their rent, and there's no harm in accepting that because their balance continues to accrue. So once you're out of your eviction moratorium period, depending on what state or city you're in, then you could proceed based on the remaining outstanding balance, if that makes sense. So that's one option. The other option is, I'd say over communicate with your residents, get a good understanding of what their situation is so that you can sort of structure sort of the best practice to get as much, basically success for both parties, right? Get as much money as you can, hopefully allow them to come out of this on the other end in terms of their job situation or whatever financial difficulties they're having that are COVID impacted. But most of the state or city initiatives only protect the residents if their financial hardship is COVID-19 impacted, and a lot of them will require that the resident notify the landlord within a certain time frame of their hardship in order to get the protections under that initiative, and provide some form of documentation to show that they are COVID-19 impacted. So once you sort of communicate and have all that understanding that you have options of payment plans, you can work with residents and different structures like Mynd as a payment plan that we've put in place that hopefully sort of stretches things out for the resident that allows success for both a property owner and the resident once we all come out of this.
And so basically the bulk of this is over communicate and make sure that you're looking for solutions with the resident, because this, I think the points here that number one, nobody expected this to happen and it's not necessarily their fault, but we're all in this together and trying to come up with solutions per the law and what are available to you, I think is the key right now to, at least like you said, getting something right now is a good solution, at least a starting point to fixing this for a long term.
Yeah, over communicate on both sides. If you're a resident, absolutely reach out to your property manager or your landlord and let them know what's going on. Same thing if you're a property owner. Silence isn't going to get you anywhere. There's nothing in any of these state initiatives that prevents you from, as a property owner, from serving sort of a rent due or a reminder notice that, hey, you've got an outstanding balance, reminding them that, hey, your balance, you're still obligated to pay rents during this eviction moratorium, and it's only just accruing. And we can only work with you if you communicate with us or reach out to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Giles, thank you very much for your time, and we will see you soon.